Most men waste endless hours sitting on their phones, overanalyzing a simple text message, replaying every single interaction, and asking themselves the same frustrating question: is she actually into me, or am I just imagining this? You look for obvious signs, expecting her to walk right up to you and confess her feelings in plain English. But that is where almost every guy gets it completely wrong. Here is the cold, hard reality of female psychology. When a woman is genuinely crazy about you, she will almost never tell you directly. Society, social conditioning, and her own natural instincts prevent her from being totally blunt about her desires. Instead of using words, her attraction leaks out through powerful, involuntary psychological cues that her subconscious mind simply cannot hide. Her body language shifts, her vocal tone changes, and her focus locks onto you in ways she cannot even control herself. When you learn how to spot these hidden signals, the entire dynamic changes. You stop guessing, you stop overthinking, and you stop wasting your time chasing women who are completely indifferent to you. You begin to see through the social noise and read her true intentions with total clarity and confidence. Before we break down these exact behavioral cues step by step, do yourself a favor. Hit that subscribe button right now and drop a like on this video. When you understand these hidden psychological triggers, you will never have to second guess a woman's interest ever again. Unpredictable emotional shifts. To understand how a woman truly feels about you, you have to look past basic politeness and look directly at her emotional stability around you. When a woman is completely indifferent toward a man, her behavior is calm, polite, balanced, and entirely predictable. She answers your questions pleasantly, maintains a baseline level of courtesy, and remains utterly unfazed by your presence. That is because you occupy zero space in her emotional world. You do not stir her thoughts, you do not shift her mood, and you do not threaten her internal control. However, the moment you trigger deep subconscious attraction inside her, that smooth composure instantly shatters. You will start noticing sudden, unexplainable shifts in her temperament that seem to come out of nowhere. One moment she is laughing at a joke you made with intense enthusiasm, and the next, she might act slightly tense, quiet, or mildly irritated over something completely minor. Most men see this erratic behavior and immediately panic, thinking they screwed up or did something wrong. But in reality, you are witnessing her composure slip under the weight of genuine emotional investment. This friction happens because your presence has entered her psychological space. She isn't acting confused or mood swung just for fun. Her brain is actively trying to process a man who holds real influence over her emotions. When a woman cares, she can no longer maintain a neutral facade. You will notice small, involuntary physiological shifts. Her pupils dilate when you speak, her breathing changes, or she gets unusually defensive or quiet if another woman joins the conversation near you. That reaction isn't a coincidence, and it isn't childish drama. It is her mind realizing she is losing a degree of control to you, and her nervous system is reacting to that shift. Indifference is cold, predictable, and polite. Emotional friction, unpredictability, and raw vulnerability are absolute proof that she is deeply attached. Unconscious subconscious mimicry. While her emotional shifts give away her internal feelings, her physical movements will broadcast her attraction just as clearly if you know what to watch for. When a woman feels a powerful magnetic pull toward you, her subconscious mind automatically attempts to build an invisible bridge between the two of you through a process called behavioral mimicry. This is the ultimate physical tell of high attraction, and it happens completely on autopilot without her consciously realizing she is doing it. Pay close attention to how her body responds during your interactions. If you lean back into your chair, you will notice her subtly shift her body back a few seconds later. If you cross your legs, adjust your posture, or take a sip of your drink, she will mirror that exact movement almost instantly. You will hear her start adopting your specific phrasing, echoing your humor, or matching the tone, speed, and volume of your voice. If you lean in close to speak quietly, she won't pull back. She will match your proximity and lower her voice to meet yours. This isn't a calculated trick or a game she is playing to manipulate you. It is a fundamental psychological mechanism driven by the deep desire for connection and alignment. Her subconscious brain is signaling high comfort, strong rapport, and an intense drive to blend her energy with yours. A woman will never mirror a man she feels neutral or cold toward. Her body simply won't waste the psychological energy to synchronize with someone who doesn't matter to her. If her physical presence, gestures, and speech patterns consistently echo yours every time you are together, her mind is already completely hooked. Subtle composure tests. Once a woman feels that strong spark of attraction pulling her toward you, her focus shifts instantly toward testing your internal strength. Most men completely misinterpret this dynamic when it happens, assuming she is being difficult, manipulative, or trying to push them away. But in reality, a woman who is genuinely attracted to you will naturally test your boundaries and evaluate your emotional composure. This isn't a malicious mental game, it is an instinctive psychological filter. Her brain needs to know if you are truly as solid, confident, and grounded as you seem, or if your masculine persona is just a fragile front that collapses under the slightest bit of social pressure. These tests happen smoothly and casually in everyday conversation, often appearing as a playful poke at your ego, a sudden challenging comment, or a sly question designed to probe your past and challenge your opinions. She might playfully tease you about what you are wearing, disagree with a statement you made just to see how fiercely you defend yourself, or push a minor boundary, like flippantly changing plans to gauge your reaction. This is where most men completely ruin their chances. If you get overly defensive, fly off the handle in anger, start seeking her approval, or act deeply hurt and insecure, her attraction instantly plummets. You have just shown her that your emotions are fragile and easily manipulated by outside noise. However, if you handle these moments with complete composure, remaining calm, unbothered, amused, and totally grounded in your own skin, the psychological impact on her is massive. When you smile through her teasing, hold your boundary with quiet authority, and refuse to let your mood get derailed by a subtle challenge, you pass her psychological test with flying colors. You prove to her nervous system that you are an emotionally stable, high value man who cannot be easily shaken. She realizes you are a man capable of leading, protecting, and staying steady through turbulence. Passing these quiet tests doesn't just keep her interested, it dramatically amplifies her attraction, turning surface level curiosity into deep emotional trust. Silent prioritization. While she tests your emotional stability on the surface, her deeper investment will reveal itself through a pattern of silent prioritization. When a woman is completely crazy about you, she will restructure her focus around your existence without ever making a loud declaration about it. You won't just see this in how quickly she replies to your messages or how easily she agrees to meet up. You will spot it in the incredible level of detail she pays to your life. Her mind becomes a vault for everything related to you, silently storing information that most casual acquaintances would instantly forget. Pay close attention to how much she remembers and adapts around you. She will casually bring up minor details you mentioned in passing weeks ago, like your favorite coffee order, a random childhood memory, a specific goal you are working toward, or a minor stressor in your life. Without you asking, she will adapt her communication style to match yours, adopting your favorite slang phrases or texting you during times she knows you are free. More importantly, she will make silent logistical adjustments to her life just to be near you. You will notice her showing up at events she previously had no interest in, taking routes where she knows she might run into you, or clearing her schedule the moment you mention a potential opening in yours, all while making it look entirely accidental. This subtle prioritization becomes even more undeniable when you observe her behavior in group settings. The moment you walk into a crowded room, her attention radar locks directly onto you. During group conversations, she will look at you first whenever someone tells a joke to see if you are laughing, openly validate your opinions above others, and make sure your voice is heard when people talk over you. She will subtly align herself with your side of the room, engage warmly with your thoughts, and adjust her focus so you always feel acknowledged and valued. Women do not waste this level of detailed attention, schedule flexibility, and social support on men they consider average. If she is quietly building her world around your presence, she is far past casual dating. She is deeply psychologically hooked. Emotional loyalty and boundary probing. As her attraction deepens from simple interest into real emotional investment, her evaluations become far more sophisticated. She moves past basic surface level teasing and begins actively probing your core values, your integrity, and your emotional loyalty. Most guys misread these moments entirely, thinking she is trying to start unnecessary drama, dredge up the past, or trap them with trick questions. But in reality, her subconscious mind is running a deep background check on your character. She needs to know if you are a man of genuine substance and stability, or if your calm demeanor is just a fake, polished persona that crumbles the moment real relationship dynamics come into play. You will notice these subtle probes popping up in casual, late night conversations or hypothetical scenarios. She might ask seemingly innocent questions about your past relationships, curious to hear how you describe your exes. If you immediately launch into bitter rants, play the helpless victim, or trash the women from your past, she immediately marks you as emotionally immature and untrustworthy. Instead, she is watching to see if you speak with quiet respect, take accountability for your mistakes, and maintain your composure. She might casually drop subtle comments about other attractive people or drop hypothetical scenarios into conversation, not to provoke petty jealousy, but to test your self control, your boundaries, and how you handle subtle temptation. She wants to see if you drop your standards for easy attention or if you hold your ground with unwavering integrity. She is constantly scanning your behavior for one specific trait above all else: absolute consistency. She watches how you treat waitstaff when an order gets messed up, how you handle stress when a plan falls apart, and whether your actions match the big promises you make. Every word, every hesitation, every tone shift, and every micro expression is being evaluated by her intuition. She wants to see if your moral backbone stays straight when challenged, or if you fold under pressure just to please people. When you demonstrate unshakable self control, speak with honesty, and maintain your character across every situation, you pass her deepest psychological assessments. This transforms basic physical attraction into intense emotional trust, binding her to you on a level that simple charm or good looks could never achieve. Comfort sacrifice and subconscious devotion. The ultimate, undisputed sign that a woman is completely captivated by you is her absolute willingness to sacrifice her own personal comfort just to support you or be near your energy. This has nothing to do with massive, flashy financial gestures or dramatic Hollywood proclamations of love. Those are easy to fake and rarely last. Instead, genuine psychological devotion shows up in the quiet, consistent daily choices she makes that put your needs and presence at the center of her focus. Women protect their personal space, time, and emotional energy fiercely, reserving this level of selfless investment exclusively for a man they view as high value and irreplaceable. Pay close attention to the small choices she makes when convenience is on the line. She will willingly adjust her busy routine, drive across town in awful traffic, stay up late when she has an early morning, or agree to try activities she normally hates just because you enjoy them. It isn't about obligation, peer pressure, or trying to guilt trip you later. It is driven by a deep, instinctive pull to align her world with yours. She will begin anticipating your needs before you even speak them out loud, bringing you your favorite drink when you are stressed, taking care of a minor errand to clear your schedule, or offering a quiet moment of support when she senses your energy is low. This devotion extends far beyond private interactions into her public loyalty. In social settings, a woman who is genuinely devoted to you acts as your quiet guardian. She will actively protect your reputation around others, amplify your accomplishments, shut down disrespectful comments made by third parties, and align herself with your perspective during group debates. She makes it overwhelmingly clear to everyone in the room that she respects you, values your leadership, and stands firmly in your corner. When a woman naturally anticipates your comfort, defends your character, and routinely sacrifices her own convenience to uplift your life, her investment is absolute. You are no longer just a guy she is dating. You have become a central, commanding presence in her mind and heart. Stop chasing, start observing. At the end of the day, understanding female attraction comes down to one fundamental shift in your mindset. You have to stop listening exclusively to what a woman says and start paying attention to what her behavior is actually revealing. Words are easy to fabricate. Polite responses are often just social courtesy, and verbal declarations can be misleading. Real, intense attraction is not built in open statements. It is communicated through the involuntary, unscripted actions she takes when her guard is completely down. When you start spotting these unmistakable patterns, the sudden emotional shifts when you walk into the room, the subconscious mimicry of your posture and speech, the quiet boundary tests designed to probe your strength, and the silent ways she prioritizes your presence, you need to stop overthinking every interaction. You don't need to double text, you don't need to seek constant reassurance, and you certainly don't need to chase her to prove your worth. The signs are already right in front of you. She isn't just mildly curious or casually interested. Her nervous system is actively registering a deep psychological pull toward you. Your entire job in this dynamic is to recognize these behavioral signals, maintain your unshakable composure, and step fully into your grounded strength. When you stop chasing validation and simply allow space for her emotional investment to grow, her attraction will naturally build on its own momentum. Once you master the art of reading these quiet psychological cues, you will never have to doubt her intentions, second guess your value, or play guessing games ever again.